So, you want to know about the 12 levels of the Mafia? Then here we go. Level 1, the hangaround. Every story begins the same way. You're just a kid from the neighborhood. You grew up watching the guys everyone seemed to respect, the expensive watches, the Cadillacs parked outside the club, the way people stepped aside when they walked into a room. You want that life. So you start hanging around, you fetch coffee, you wash cars, you run down to the deli for sandwiches during the late-night card games in the back room. Nobody really notices you. The made men barely look in your direction. To them, you're just free labor, a gopher, someone who goes for coffee and goes for cigarettes. Your real job is simple. Listen and keep your mouth shut. Every move you make is being watched. They're testing you. If you talk too much, you disappear from the scene overnight. You're not earning money yet. In fact, you're taking all the risk for none of the reward. If the police raid the club, guess who gets shoved into the back of the squad car while the bosses slip out the back door? You. So how do you move up? You prove you're useful. You spot a patrol car 2 blocks away and quietly warn the guys inside. And if they like what they see, you get your first real step up. Level 2. The associate. Now you're an associate. You're not officially part of the family, but you're working with them. Your life becomes a constant hustle. Maybe you're hijacking trucks leaving the airport. Maybe you're running an illegal sports betting operation. Whatever you do, the money starts flowing. But there's one rule you learn quickly. You don't keep it all. Every week you bring a thick envelope of cash to the soldier who sponsors you, the guy who brought you into the crew. If you make $10,000, a big chunk of that belongs to him. That's called kicking up. And if you try to skim a little off the top, if you get greedy, you're not just stealing from him. You're stealing from the family. And people who steal from the family tend to disappear. Associates take most of the risk. You're the one doing the dirty work, the one roughing people up when debts aren't paid, the one pulling off risky jobs. The FBI is watching guys like you because you're young, ambitious, and sloppy. If you get arrested, the family doesn't step in to save you. You do your time. And you keep your mouth shut. That's the only way you prove you deserve the next level. Level 3. Senior associate. Years pass. You've proven you can earn money. You've done prison time without talking. You've shown loyalty under pressure. Now you're connected to a captain. You're officially on record with his crew. That means protection. Nobody from another crew can shake you down. If someone tries, your captain steps in. But this stage is actually the most dangerous, because now the bosses are evaluating you. They dig into your past, your family background, your bloodline. In traditional Italian mafia families, your father had to be fully Italian. They look for any sign of weakness, or any relatives who might become informants. One mistake here can ruin everything. Get drunk and embarrass the family? You're out. Lose your temper in the wrong place? You're finished. But if everything checks out, one day, you get a call. Dress sharp. Be here tonight. You're about to become something very few people ever become. Level 4. The made man. The ceremony is quiet, private, usually a basement. Maybe the back room of a restaurant. A small group of men sit around a table. A gun lies on the table. So does a picture of a saint. They prick your finger with a needle. A drop of blood falls onto the image. The picture is set on fire and placed in your hands. You swear an oath as the flame burns your fingers. From this moment on, you belong to the family. You're now a made man. That status means protection. No civilian can touch you. No associate can harm you. Even bosses from other families need permission from the commission before taking action against you. If someone attacks you, they're declaring war on the entire organization. But with that protection comes responsibility. You now have associates working for you. They kick up their earnings, and you pass money up to your captain. You supervise rackets, construction jobs, union votes, gambling operations. You don't break windows yourself anymore. You send someone else to do it. But one thing never changes. If the boss gives an order, you follow it, no questions asked. Level 5, the enforcer. Some men are great earners, others develop a different reputation. Violence. If someone refuses to pay their debts, they send you. If a problem needs to disappear, they send you. You become the family's enforcement arm. You collect money. You intimidate rivals. Sometimes you do worse. Some enforcers specialize in something darker: disposal. They know which construction sites are pouring concrete tomorrow morning and which industrial facilities have vats that can dissolve almost anything. People fear you. Even the men in your own crew keep their distance. Because while you're valuable, nobody truly wants to be close to the man who handles the worst jobs. Level 6, acting capo. Then opportunity arrives. Maybe your captain is arrested on federal charges. Maybe he's sick. Maybe the surveillance around him is too heavy. He points to you. For now, you're running the crew. You're the acting capo. You have real authority, but everyone knows the seat isn't permanently yours. This becomes a delicate balancing act. You must keep the money flowing to your captain while he's away. Keep the soldiers in line. Keep the operations running smoothly. Do a bad job and everything collapses. But do too good of a job, and the captain might think you're trying to replace him. You have to run the crew while pretending you never wanted the position in the first place. Level 7, capo. Eventually, the title becomes permanent. Now you're a captain. You run a full crew of soldiers and dozens, sometimes hundreds of associates. You control territory, maybe an entire neighborhood. At this level, you're less of a street criminal and more of a manager. You organize the rackets. You settle disputes. You ensure everyone under you is earning. Every week, your crew's money flows upward to the boss. If business slows down, it's your responsibility to fix it. And if two soldiers have a problem with each other, you become the judge. Your word is law within the crew. But remember one thing: if you stop earning, someone else will take your place. Level 8, the messenger. Not every powerful position is obvious. Some men become trusted messengers between families. Bosses can't meet openly anymore. The FBI watches everything, so they rely on intermediaries. Men who carry conversations between powerful families. Men who negotiate peace before small conflicts turn into wars. These diplomats must be calm, respected, and incredibly careful. One wrong message could start a bloodbath. Level 9, consigliere. Now you're in the inner circle. The consigliere is the boss's counselor. Unlike captains, he doesn't run a crew. He doesn't control territory. His power comes from something else. Access. He's the only person who can sit with the boss and say, "That's a bad idea." When tempers flare and violence seems like the easy answer, the consigliere thinks about consequences, about police attention, about the long-term business. Often he understands the law better than anyone else in the room. He's the strategist, the mediator, the voice of reason. Level 10. Underboss. Now you're second in command. If the boss is the CEO, the underboss is the COO. Every captain reports to you. You collect the major earnings from each crew. You resolve problems that are too big for captains but too small for the boss. But this job comes with a dangerous reality. If the government builds a case against the family, you're usually the first major target. You're the shield protecting the boss. And everyone knows you're the likely successor, which makes you a very tempting target for ambitious captains who want the throne. Level 11, the boss. At the very top sits the boss, the head of the family. By the time someone reaches this position, they've survived decades of betrayal, prison sentences, and power struggles. A smart boss keeps distance between himself and the crimes. He doesn't handle money directly. He doesn't carry weapons. He gives quiet instructions to the underboss, and days later those instructions ripple down through the organization. He also deals with the commission, the group of bosses who divide territory and maintain peace between the major families. On paper, the boss has ultimate power, but the truth is, it's also the loneliest position in the organization. Everyone below him wants his job. The FBI dedicates entire task forces to bringing him down. And there's only one way out. Bosses don't retire. They stay on the throne until they die. In a hospital bed, a prison cell, or on the pavement outside a steakhouse. Because once you enter this life, there's no walking away.